I hope you've all enjoyed your meal. Before I introduce somebody very special to us all here, usually at the Atlantic Council, we're a little bit too modest to thank ourselves on an evening like this, but I want to thank two people on my team who represent so many others who have helped make this possible. It is such an honor to work with people who care as much about getting things right in an event like this as they care about the issues of the event. So please join me in applauding Fran Burwell, Anya Voloshin. Thank you very much. Anya, come take a bow. Now, I have about a 10-minute speech I'd like to give on behalf of Mayor Dudkiewicz, and he likes long-winded introductions. He's told me that backstage. Actually, as you know, I'm joking. I've never known a politician to use words as effectively and efficiently as he does. So it's my honor to introduce to you our host and the man without whom none of this would be possible, Mayor Rafał Dudkiewicz.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to deliver a speech. I just wanted to tell you I'm extremely happy to host you, to have you all here. Thank you very much. And there are two people who made it happen a few years ago. I mean, Fred Kempe and Maciek Witucki. May I ask you, Fred and Maciej, to join me? I wanted to award them with a special Medal of Merit, Merito de Wrocławia. Come closer. This is the special medal, and there is something in addition to be able to wear. Produkowane, proszę pana, specjalnie dla was. This is the medal to you. Wait a second. Of my fingers, but Wrocławia means return of glory. In the shine of glory, you are allowed to return to your tables, friends. Thank you very much.
I just want to say the name of my grandfather, who was born in this city, because he would be more touched than anyone. He was my favorite person on earth. So thank you, Arthur Paul Theodor Schumann.
So to make this dinner longer, I will then thank you, my mom and the director of this film, and but then thank you for this medal. It's a great stuff. I understood from the audience that I have a free bus tickets until the end of my life in the city of Wrocław. So thank you very much, and thank you for all of this. And we're gonna continue with this beautiful city of Breslau. Thank you, Rafał.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Douglas Green, the United States Chargé d'Affaires to Poland.
Good evening. I'd just like to invite everyone to give a huge round of applause to everyone who is involved in organizing this wonderful, wonderful event. I'm going to be the third person tonight to send greetings from Ambassador Steve Mull. He is back in Washington at the graduation, the high school graduation of his son. It was a tough decision, but I think he made the right one to go back for the graduation. And I know he hopes to join you next year at the Wroclaw Global Forum and Freedom Awards dinner. These awards not only recognize the heroic individuals being honored tonight, but also pay tribute to the role of Poland as a nation committed to freedom and dedicated to the solidarity of free nations around the world. The United States has worked closely with Poland and our other European partners over the past decades to expand the frontiers of freedom. We're proud of that cooperation and the success it has brought and the success it will bring. So let no one doubt that we will remain committed to our transatlantic partnership in support of democratic values and human rights around the world. I actually want to close with a very simple and personal thank you to the Atlantic Council. When I was a young Foreign Service officer serving at our then consulate in Zagreb, Yugoslavia, between 1988 and 1991, it was a period of revolutionary change in Croatia and Slovenia, as you all know. I had two role models as a young diplomat. The first was my boss at our embassy in Belgrade, an ambassador named Warren Zimmerman. And the second was a man named Mark Palmer, our ambassador in Budapest, who I watched from a distance through State Department cables. And yes, it is true, some of the things he did irritated the folks in the State Department in Washington, but to a young officer watching this from the region, it was very, very instructive. Both of these men taught me something that's very important. When it comes to freedom, passion counts as much as policy, maybe more. I'm sad that Mark Palmer has left us, but I'm very happy he lived to see how far and how fast the march of freedom and democracy has taken us. So thank you for including Mark Palmer among your heroes of freedom this evening. With that thought in mind, it's my pleasure to welcome to the stage a colleague who is equally passionate about freedom, Dr. Tamika Tilleman, Senior Advisor to the Secretary of State for Civil Society and Emerging Democracies. Thank you.
Let me thank you, Doug, for that kind introduction. A signer of the Declaration of Independence, Benjamin Rush, observed that there is only one way to create a durable democratic society. And that, he said, is by disseminating the seeds of virtue and knowledge through every part of the state by means of proper places and modes of education. I think we all know intuitively that Rush was right, but if we needed more proof, we could find it in the actions of authoritarian governments that go to extraordinary lengths to deny their people access to such an education. Within our Atlantic neighborhood, no institution exemplifies this phenomenon more vividly than European Humanities University. EHU was established in 1992 to provide a generation of young people in Belarus with access to an education that would exemplify the best values and traditions of our Euro-Atlantic community. An education that would not only teach them how to answer questions, but how to question. Because of that commitment to intellectual integrity, EHU faced immense challenges, more than any institution could ever be expected to endure. After years of threats and government pressure, these difficulties culminated in 2004 when EHU's Minsk campus was forcibly closed by the Belarusian government. Led by its rector, Anatoly Mikhailov, who joins us tonight, EHU's faculty and students chose a path of principle, and in doing so, they provide inspiration to us all. With the generous support of the Lithuanian government, EHU found a new home in Vilnius, where it has continued to fulfill its mission. Today, it is the only independent Belarusian university. EHU not only exemplifies the values of perseverance and independence, but it is also a remarkable example of transatlantic cooperation. Over 50 partners, including governments, intergovernmental organizations, foundations, nonprofit organizations, and the private sector on both sides of the Atlantic, have come together to support its work. The United States is proud to be among those supporters. And tonight we'd like to show you a short video about EHU's work in action.
We have to change ourselves first, and only then to change reality surrounding us.
EHU is a real European and Western model where everything depends on you.
There are great relationships between students and professors. Students are not scared of professors, and professors respect their students.
I live in Belarus, but I'm able to study in EHU. I'm a distance learning course student.
What is special to our project is that we became attractive to those who are interested in challenging themselves.
I chose EHU for many reasons. For me, it's a place of freedom. In EHU, there is plurality of opinions, and EHU gives me the possibility to be active in political or social life without fear of being expelled from the university.
EHU taught me to think critically, because there are a lot of discussions, because everyone has his own opinion, and it is very interesting to compare these opinions, to think critically.
EHU is putting the effort to build a generation of alternative, deep-thinking people.
After EHU, we have European vision of Belarus. We have education with European standards, and we can help Belarus to develop in the European direction.
Ultimately, the purpose of education is not simply to convey knowledge that has been acquired before, but to give each generation the tools it needs to build something new. Thanks to the work of EHU, thousands of young people in Belarus possess the values and skills they will need to help build something new. A new perspective, new potential, and we hope someday a new future defined by freedom. Please join me in welcoming Rector Anatoly Mikhailov and students Maria Sliapsova and Janis Kuczynski to the stage to accept this award on behalf of European Humanities University.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tillemann. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to accept this award. Yes, support for the aspiration of Belarusian people to live in freedom has been generous and unwavering. And we are deeply grateful to you and the people of your country for this support. Within a relatively short time of its existence, the European Humanities University, being established in Minsk, Belarus, in 1992, has experienced dramatic destiny. After its closure by Belarusian authorities in 2004, it is presently located in Vilnius, Lithuania, and continues its operation as a university in exile. Physically, EHU has traveled from one country to another, from one oppressive place where there is a little room for freedom to a place where democracy and freedom have taken firm root. But even more important, transition is one that it's not physical, but it is reflected in every class of students that graduate from our university. Our students, some of them are present here, are choosing EHU as a place where they have given opportunity to receive education free of any kind of oppression and ideological control. Being located in an atmosphere of freedom, they have unique opportunities to become professionals in various fields of humanities, social sciences. More importantly, they learn to think and to act as free human beings, something no regime can take away from them. It is my sincere belief that a free country can only exist if people are free, and real freedom begins with each particular person. We stand here today in confidence that our struggle to foster free minds has a proper resonance and recognition in the world. 2 years ago, the Atlantic Council's Freedom Award was presented to Belarusian Free Theater, Human Rights Center Vesna, and Belarusian Association of Journalists. Today, I accept this award on behalf of all who are promoting freedom in Belarus. This award is a testimony that no regime can withstand the power of idea of freedom. I will now let our students to tell their stories. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Maria and I'm a second-year international law student. I should say that before coming to EHU, I studied at a Belarusian university, and frankly speaking, I have never known any other kind of education. But then I came to an election observation training course in Vilnius that was organized by EHU. And this experience changed me so much that I decided to enter EHU. Now I can say that studies at EHU are completely different from studies in Belarus. Here we do not just read and memorize facts, but we actually learn how to learn by analyzing information, asking questions, and forming an opinion. So I specialize in international law, and this knowledge let me know and let me understand the situation in Belarus better and recognize the violations of international standards in my country. This knowledge, together with my strong feeling of justice, gave me the will of becoming a human rights defender. And I know that if I'm good at my job, this will be partly because EHU taught me how to think objectively and freely. On behalf of EHU students, I want to thank you very much for this award.
Hello, I'm Denis. I'm a first-year cultural heritage student. I received a full scholarship at the Belarusian State University, but I rejected it and instead came to study at the European Humanities University. You know, for me, EHU is a place of opportunities. First and foremost, it gave me an opportunity to study cultural heritage, a discipline that does not exist in Belarus. I have also received support for an educational project, which helps young Belarusians to learn history in a fun way. But more importantly, I have the opportunities to grow as a person. EHU provides an environment in which you can become an independent, intellectual, and critically thinking human being. And such an opportunity can only exist in a place which is not restricted by state ideology and control. I do hope after I graduate, I can use my knowledge to show people the importance of our cultural heritage and find ways to preserve it. Because after all, our shared memories and culture is what makes us a nation. Thank you very much for this award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Shaukat Aziz, former Prime Minister of Pakistan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me thank Fred Kemp and the Atlantic Council for giving me the opportunity to visit this beautiful city. This is my first visit, and Mr. Mayor, I'm very impressed. Thank you very much for hosting us here. No nation, ladies and gentlemen, can progress unless women in their society are given their due rights. Rights like freedom, education, justice, and involvement in every facet of activity to contribute towards peace, progress, and prosperity in their country. Malala Yousafzai, a young girl from the beautiful valley of Swat in northern Pakistan, was one such lady who was committed to pursuing her quest for freedom, for pursuing education for all women and children, and for pursuing the cause of peace and justice. One day, on her way back from school, she was shot at close range by those who did not want her to continue her mission. She was critically injured, and the place where she lived was far away from major hospitals or medical facilities. With the help of her parents, the governments of Pakistan, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and the UK, she was given speedy medical attention. And I'm pleased to share with you that she has fully recovered and she is leading a normal life in Birmingham, UK. Malala is clearly an exceptional person. She is a glowing example of someone who believes in her cause and has demonstrated courage, conviction, commitment, and tenacity in achieving her objectives. Objectives like education, freedom, justice, and equity for all, but particularly women. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we celebrate the conferring of the Atlantic Council Freedom Award to Malala Yousafzai for what she has done and achieved, and the promise she represents of what she will do in the future. Malala, ladies and gentlemen, had received already several awards from around the world, one even yesterday in Vienna. And she, as you know, is a nominee for this year's Nobel Peace Prize. Let us now hear Malala and allow her to share her thoughts with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Malala will be with us on the video.
First of all, I would like to thank the Atlantic Council for giving me such a prestigious award, Freedom Award. And that's what I want. I want freedom. I want freedom for all the girls in this world. And I want the girls to stand on their own 2 feet. And I want the girls to be educated. I want them to be empowered. And one day we will achieve this goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier, Malala's parents played a major role in developing her thought process and in what she did. Mr. Ziauddin Yousafzai, Malala's father, is here with us today. He is her mentor and someone who played a major role in giving her daughter space to get on with her goals in life. We are really privileged that he is here, and may I now invite him to come and join us on stage.
Mr. Frederick Kemp, the President of Atlantic Council, ladies and gentlemen, I really feel honored and humbled to be here in this wonderful gala with you. And I think my joy was multiplied because I am representing my daughter. Number 2, I got the prize from the hands of our ex-PM, Mr. Shaukat Aziz. It added to my honor further. And today when I came here to this beautiful town, believe me, just beside this building, there's a big lake and beautiful scenes. And for the first time, I felt that as I am in Swat Valley. And I'm also thankful because it's our culture, tradition that when you are served by some good food, you must thank the people, the host. So I'm very thankful for the very tasty and amazing food for this evening. Freedom Awards 2013, it is really a prestigious award for me and my daughter. I represent her, but I can't speak for her. And that is which has made her different. Your first Prime Minister who was here, he spoke about the freedom of speech. And later on then, a gentleman from the EHU spoke about the critical thinking. That's what I did. People ask me that, what special training have you given to your daughter? Nothing. She was born in the home of a social and political activist. I am a teacher. I am a small political activist of my valley who is one of the few who fought against Talibanization and terrorism and militancy. And she was grown in that home. And what I did, the only thing I did, I gave her freedom of expression and freedom of thought. So that's why I can't speak for her. I am representing her because that's why she has learned to speak for herself and to think for herself. And that makes difference. Ladies and gentlemen, in this, and one thing more, in this world of male-dominated world, majority in the major parts of the world, the societies are dominated by men. There may be few exceptions. Fathers are usually known by their sons. And you might know that in some of the societies, there are so many children in search of a son, so many daughters. One daughter, second daughter, third daughter, fourth daughter, and when the son comes, it's okay now. So, in the societies of sun, where fathers are known by their sons, I'm the most fortunate father who is one of the few who is known by his daughter, and I'm proud of it. And ladies and gentlemen, before 2009 and 2008, and that's what freedom. If my daughter had not learned freedom of expression at home, she would have never been able to speak out of her home. She would never have been able to speak to media. She would never have been able to speak on different forums and seminars. So my message to the parents is give freedom to your children in home, and they will feel free outside of their homes. Ladies and gentlemen, when my daughter got famous in 2011, after being nominated for one of the few nominees for the International Peace Children Prize, she got very famous in the country. And the Prime Minister of our country, he started a Youth Peace Prize after her name. She became very famous, and before that, she was my daughter, and now I am her father. Ladies and gentlemen, when Malala was attacked, because Taliban or the terrorists who may think themselves as the very powerful and very valiant and gallant people, they were afraid of this small child because she had a pen and a book in her hand. You must understand that terrorists may not be afraid of attacks, of drone attacks, of any other attack from military operation. What they are afraid of, they are books. That is knowledge, that is education, that is learning. Otherwise, they won't have attacked a small child. So that is the way out to eliminate militancy, terrorism, fundamentalism, and extremism. Education. Ladies and gentlemen, when Malala was attacked, unfortunately, the whole population of Pakistan is associated with Taliban. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it clear that when Malala was attacked, the people of Pakistan, everybody, Sikhs, Hindus, Christians, Muslims, all Pakistanis, they raised banners, they raised posters, and they said, I am Malala. They did not raise the banner of that I am Taliban. And they gave their verdict and they gave their decision and they shamed on Taliban. So I request that Taliban are few miscreants. They should not be associated with the whole Pakistan. We have dissociated and disowned them. They should not be associated with the soft image of Pakistan. Pakistan is a democratic and liberal and progressive country. Then you will ask, who is Taliban? Ladies and gentlemen, it is the old legacy of, it is the new legacy of old Cold War, which was talked about here on the stage as well. They are the legacy and the partners of the Cold War, which was very hard war for us. For somebody, that was a Cold War. But for my people, for my region, it was the hottest war. 3 million people have been killed. 50,000 have been killed after 9/11. So that was a hard war for my people. And Taliban are the legacy of the partners of the Cold War, of the jihadis. It must be kept in mind. And they are the liability of all the partners of the Cold War, and they know themselves who they are. Ladies and gentlemen, we may be one of the few, me and my daughter, we may be one of the few who spoke against Talibanization, militancy, and terrorism in our land in Pakistan. So many people are there who are speaking. We are one of the few who spoke, but we are one of the millions who are suffering every day, every morning, every evening. We have target killing, bomb blasts, and I think, sorry to say that, and to be honest, I can say that terrorism has become the tool of the global politics in my part of the world. So that's why I request to the Atlantic Council, this prize is a great prize for us. It's a great honor for us, for my family, and for my country. But my request is that Atlantic Council is in the power corridors. Atlantic Council can make a difference. Atlantic Council can make a change. So I want peace for my land. Enough is enough. I want education for the children of Pakistan, for the girls of Pakistan, and for every country where ladies are ignored and they are not given due attention. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I appeal to the stakeholders of the global politics, of the regional politics, that they have enough politics to have domination over other countries. They have enough politics for their strategic depths and for their to plunder the resources of other countries. I appeal that enough is enough. Now it is time. Let's have the politics for the clean water of the underprivileged societies. Let's have politics for the poor children of the world, whether they are in Somalia, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, and 61 million children are out of schools. Let them be in schools again. And ladies and gentlemen, the last but not the least, as a father, I tell to all fathers that this 21st century is the century of, it is girls' century, it is ladies' century. The nations, the people who will deprive their women from their basic rights, they will no more be able to live as an honorable nation. So my request is that please trust your daughters, they are faithful. Number two, honor your daughters, they are honorable. And educate your daughters, they are wonderful. Thank you all. God bless you all.
I have to admit that in the jury choosing this awardee, there were fathers in that jury. And we understood that we lived in far less difficult circumstances than Mr. Yousafzai. But if I can give my daughter an ounce of the courage and principle, she is now 5.5 years old, that you've done for your daughter, and if all fathers could, and I know mothers feel the same way, but I think fathers have a special responsibility in this respect, then we'll succeed. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to say just one or two things, and while I'm doing it, I would hope that this is an annual tradition that the awardees and the speakers in the evening come up to the stage for your applause and for a photo opportunity. So please start making your way to the stage. Let me just say two things. First of all, I hope you'll let me indulge one more time. I didn't mention others of the team that are here. So Damon Wilson, Paige Ennis, Ashley Stewart, Evetta Kruma, Drew Dixon, Rachel Weatherly, Stephanie Rowland, Talene Ananian, Max Chupersky. I'm so proud to work with you. Thank you very much. Second of all, for you that have not been here before, you have to go see the fountain show at the end of this time and continue to chat with each other. You'll really regret it if you don't do that. It's just an amazing time to talk a little bit, but also see something quite beautiful, and people will guide you outside the Congress Center as you leave. Even as we celebrate tonight's heroes, the struggle for freedom continues around the world. Iran had elections today. Syria, we're dealing with the problems in Syria. You know the problems. From the streets of Damascus, mountains of Afghanistan, Pakistan, deserts of Mali, we're working these issues around the world at the Atlantic Council, where we have centers around the world. Freedom is sacred and fragile. Through these Freedom Awards, we try to shine a light on those who are trying to do good. We're inspired by your courage and proud to do our part of this growing community of Freedom Awardees. Thank you so much for your commitment and your contributions to the world. Thank you.